a while ago, we talked about a Kickstarter game, Space Dandy.
Yes.
Well, we have some more news kind of related to
about
that.
the company that
Actually is putting it out. Shinobi 7.
Well, it was another
Shinobi 7 was formed by 7's and Ninja Division.
Yeah, Ninja Division, you might know, came from. This is the rename of the Soda Pop. They made games like that Ninja Tournament game, which now
Ninja All Stars.
Yes, thank you, Ninja All Stars, which we got to try out a little while ago, and I actually backed. I don't know, it's not on the shelf behind me right now, but it's over there. And they've made a bunch of other ones, like some small pocket, like Ninja dice games. But also they do a bunch of miniatures. I think they recently had a Kickstarter that was like a sort of like Western Flux, like space car game. It was really interesting. It was like space but Western.
Okay.
Sort of like a space railroad or something with lasers.
Well, it sounds like this Shinobi 7 is focusing more on these games based on animes.
Yeah.
Right? They said...
Tokyo Ghoul,
Wolf and Spice and Wolf.
Spice and Wolf, and I forget Battle something.
Yeah, I don't remember the other one.
Blanking that. But I remember I laughed because the Spice and Wolf one actually could totally work. Because I've actually watched that, or at least the first season. I don't know if there's more, but in essence, what the story is about is like the idea of how the culture's been changing, and like one of the wolf god, Spice and Wolf. Who can turn into a human is sort of like not worship anymore, and joins up with this merchant, and the whole thing is about how he's the spice guy, and how all these economic schemes and stuff, like explains how yes we'll get this and it'll raise in price because of gold and stuff. So I'm like here at Borg, I'm like yes, it works perfectly.
So it's Eurogame the anime.
Yes, it actually like a lot of things like they meet like we need to get the shepherd in so we can smuggle the gold into the city by putting it in the sheep's wool and stuff. And it's like all this like it really is like a very like Eurogame talk already, like economics and stuff. So like you could easily make that into.
And then ready, it's gonna be a deck building game. But
I think you could find a way to make it economic though. But like yes, I can easily see that one.
Well, so Space Dandy's a deck building, right?
Yeah, that one is. I haven't seen Tokyo Ghoul. I've heard a lot about it. I've watched Space Dandy, and that show is just hilarious. I actually backed the Kickstarter.
What's interesting, I mean, Space Dandy I've heard of, and Tokyo Ghoul I think a little bit, but these aren't like it sounds like they're getting more of the fringe, they're not getting DBZ, Naruto.
Well, it's not the Attack on Titan things, because I think that's what the other ones grab, but I know Spice and Wolf was pretty big. The other one I recognize, and I'm totally blanking on it now, and I'm sure someone will tell us. But I think it's because it's a good idea because these, like I said, I really did like Spice and Wolf. I thought it was very entertaining. And pulling from these things that are good, but just because they're not the Shonen Jump obvious picks doesn't mean that they shouldn't be.
I think that's cool. I think it's cool if they take those more obscure kind of animes. That they can get probably easier to get the rights to. Well, not that again, these are only obscure in that they aren't the mega popular ones.
Obscure in America, we should mention.
Right, they are.
They're not the things that
they're bigger names still.
That people aren't going to make. Like SpongeBob isn't going to make a joke about, something like that.
But it'll be cool to see what else they do. I think there's plenty of ripe material there.
Yeah, and considering how there are literally animes for everything. I know.
Right.
Like, Mark is actually currently behind the camera. He's a big fan of all sports anime and manga. And, there are ones like...
Tennis Prince or whatever.
Yeah,
Prince of Tennis.
Thumbs up. And of course, you and I loved watching Azumanga Daioh and stuff. So they have, topics about almost everything. So,
right.
And since we mentioned how games can be almost everything, it's
a good gimmick to have.
Yeah.
It's a good gimmick to have.
As long as you get, you actually try to make the game good, not just
not
like video games did with movies.
That's a start. Yeah.